The 6 murder centers opened initially to kill small children, specifically were located at Brandenburg, Grafenegg, Hartheim Castle in Austria, Bernburg, Hadamar and Sonnenstein near Pirna, each center ultimately equipped with a specially built gas chamber and a crematory. Early on, bottled carbon monoxide gas was supplied to all the centers. Before the gas chambers were built, children were killed by other oft-used Nazi methods such as gassing vans, shooting, starvation, poison injections to the heart, or being brutally beaten to death or exposed to sub-zero weather. Dr. Franz Niedermoser, a child killer at Grafenegg, specialized in the murder of mental patients, both children and adults, with injections of poison to the heart. Dr. Niedermoser was sentenced to death and was hanged in October 1946. Dr. Hans Heinz, a distinguished professor at the University of Berlin, was the one-time head physician at the Brandenburg Murder Center. While it was open, 2,100 people, 1,000 of them children, lost their lives directly due to the actions taken by Dr. Heinz, trained as a psychiatrist. He was recognized by the other Nazis as an expert on how best to quickly murder smaller children. Dr. Heinz killed children by injections, starvations and poison, as well as having them gassed. Then he recovered and saved their brains in large bottles of formaldehyde and sold them to Nazi researchers. Dr. Heinz was arrested after World War II by the Russians and served 7 years in prison. After the T4 program began, Nazi administrators and physicians established a T4 center at an abandoned 4-story textile mill near Cheminitz at Sachsenberg. After T4 program began, Nazi Dr. Johannes Fischer took charge and assigned Dr. Albert Liu as head of the children's ward. Both of them began murdering children by injections and starvation. Sachsenberg is not known to have had a gas chamber in operation. Dr. Fischer committed suicide in 1945. Dr. Liu was captured and charged with personally murdering 100 children by injections. A total of 430 children were alleged to have been killed at the camp and 1,000 more sent to the Bernburg T4 center to be gassed on his orders. Dr. Liu was tried by a court in Cologne. His defense was that had he not killed the 100 children he was charged with, he would have been quickly replaced with another more dedicated SS physician. The court accepted his argument and acquitted him. Children were also murdered in Vienna at a Nazi-run clinic called Am Spiegelgrund, part of the Vienna Psychiatric Neurological Clinic for Children, whose director after the Nazis took charge was Dr. Ernst Illing, who murdered children by injecting various chemicals into their hearts. After him, Dr. Heinrich Gross, another child killer, took charge. Gross collected and saved brains of his victims and sold their organs. Other Nazi clinics also had doctors who killed children. Dr. Gross was tried, but the charges were dropped. He went free. He returned to Vienna, got a job as a researcher, and finally renewed his medical work. In 1990s, Dr. Gross was found to be in possession of 400 brains of children which he had kept in formaldehyde after recovering them during World War II. Charges were filed in 1998 and a trial was scheduled for him in 2000, but this time he was ruled to be too senile to go to trial. Testimony taken during the early post-war proceedings against him for manslaughter included a statement from another T4 physician who also committed crimes at Am Spiegelgrund, Dr. Erwin Jekelius. He was accused and convicted of killing 4,000 children at the Vienna clinic Gross was running. He died in prison in 1952. Another Nazi brain collector, Dr. Karl Schneider, sought out mentally retarded children, murdered them by injecting chemicals into their hearts at his clinic, then saved their brains to study. Schneider also collected brains of Jews murdered at Nazi camps and sent to him by contacts there, preserving them in formaldehyde. Imprisoned by the Allies, he hanged himself in his jail cell in 1946.